Hey guys, Tropics here and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to live stream with OBS Studio and YouTube. Now, I previously did a tutorial on how to stream with Twitch and OBS, so now I'm going to be showing YouTube some love, and I'm going to teach you guys how to stream with YouTube. So I recently did a live stream on YouTube, or YouTube Gaming, whatever, and worked out pretty well. I just wanted to check all the settings and what YouTube streaming was all about. My first ever YouTube live stream. And honestly, it wasn't too bad, but it's really complicated, so that's why I wanted to make this tutorial today, to really get this out there, because I guarantee you a lot of people are going to be really confused as of what to do, because live streaming on YouTube is not very easy. So if you guys do want to watch my stream, I don't know, turn on notifications or something. I probably will be streaming quite a bit now on YouTube, now that I know how to. And I usually stream on Twitch as well, so if you want to go follow my Twitch, links are in the description below to my Twitter, Twitch, my Discord server. I highly recommend you join that if you need any extra help with this video. The Discord server is a great place to go. So all that will be in the description. So yeah, just look at those. So the first link we're going to click is the OBS Studio link. Now you can just search up OBS Studio if you don't have to click the link, but it's easier if you're lazy. So the reason we're not going to be using OBS Classic is because OBS Studio has a lot more to offer. It's a better product in my opinion. I'm not going to be doing this for Classic because everybody uses Studio now because it's just genuinely a better product in my opinion. So we're going to go over here to download OBS Studio, and then you're going to want to click whatever button matches your operating system. So if you have a Mac, click OS X, and if you have a Windows PC, then click Windows 7 Plus. So if you have under Windows 7, this will not work for you. You're going to have to use OBS Classic, which I'm not doing a tutorial for because, oh boy, OBS Classic is just not good. So then there's Linux as well, if you have Linux. So you just click this, download it. I'm not going to download it because I already have it. So once you download it, you just want to double click on your desktop and open the application itself. So we're not going to worry about any of this, and you're not going to have any sources, but you will have one scene. You're probably not going to have anything in your mixer over here. So what the first thing you want to do, go to File, go to Settings, General. Whatever language you want to choose is your opinion, really, because, you know, if you speak Spanish, then I choose Spanish. I don't know. Language is kind of a personal preference. I speak English, so I put English. Theme, I go with dark because default just looks really ugly, and dark looks really nice, and it goes easy on the eyes. So before we do anything else in the settings, I want you guys to click the second link I have in the description, which is a link to a speed test. So once you get here, you want to go to Settings, and then you want to go to, you want to set the speed to kilobits per second, okay? Because kilobits per second is what the streaming services use as a measurement for your speed. So once you've done that, you just want to go over here and hit go. So while this speed test is going, I'll explain to you why this speed test is useful and why we're even doing this. So I'd say like half of streaming is your internet. You need to have good internet to stream. You don't need to, but if you stream with bad internet, you're gonna have really bad stream quality, more than likely. So as you guys can see, I have about 600,000 kilobits per second download. Now the download doesn't really matter with streaming at all, honestly. What you really want to look for is the upload. So I have around a 800,000 upload. Well, right now it's actually going really high. I have AT&T fiber, so I have 1 gig per second upload and 1 gig per second download. So my internet's really good. You're not going to be seeing speeds like this. Like very, very rarely you're going to see speeds like this. Very good internet, highly recommend it. AT&T fiber is the way to go, honestly. But if you have Google Fiber in your area, I recommend that more because it's more reliable in my opinion, and it's Google. Google products are awesome, let's be honest. Anyways, so once you get your results, just memorize these, leave them open, do whatever. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to OBS and look at all the settings. So the stream tab we'll mess with later once we actually start setting up the live stream on YouTube. So what you want to mess with first is your video over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click the third link in the description. Just bear with me here. And what this link is it's a guide that YouTube made. I love this guide. It's awesome. That tells you what bitrate you should choose depending on your internet speed. So that's where the speed test comes in. So say you want to stream at 1080p. Well, it's going to tell you that your resolution needs to be set to 1920 by 1080. And that your bitrate range needs to be set to 3,000 to 6,000 kilobits per second. So that's where the speed test comes in. See, I have 926,000 kilobits per second, so I can definitely stream at 1080p. So let's say you have a speed of 1,500 kilobits per second upload. So that is probably 1.5 megabits per second upload. So it's going to tell you what it would recommend for that. So if you have 1500, it says to go 720p and set your bitrate anywhere from 1500 to 4000 kilobits per second. Now this is all upload, no download. So just focus on your upload for this part. So just match the quality with the bitrate you have. So I usually go 1080p 60 frames per second because my internet is great. So I go 4500 to 9000 kilobits per second. I usually go 5000. It's really good bitrate all around, but just mess around with it and see what works best for you. So just find which quality would be in your little equilibrium, I guess. And another thing I have to say about the bitrate stuff, so say you have an upload of 1.5 megabits per second or 1500 kilobits per second. So you don't want to use up all of your internet on the stream, because if you're playing like an online game or something, that's actually going to use bandwidth too, so you might start lagging. So let's say you have a 1500 like upload speed, so you'd want to go 480p and go with a bitrate of like 1000, just so you can you know, not lag in online gaming. So really, I'd recommend anything from a 2500 bitrate up. Anything below that is pretty bad for your overall speed. So anyways, let's go into OBS and start configuring some stuff. So once you've found what you want, you go into video. This is where you set the resolution. So if I'm going to stream at 1080p 60 FPS, for example, my resolution would be set to 1920 times 1080. So the base canvas resolution is what your desktop is set to, which you can check by, let's exit this, which you can check by right-clicking on your desktop if you're on Windows, and then going to Display Settings, and then Advanced Display Settings, and then you go to your resolution, and whatever that's set to, that's what you want to set your base canvas resolution to. So let's go back to video. So that would be 1920 times 1080. Just set that to whatever your monitor's resolution is. So the output scaled resolution is going to be what the people are going to see. So for example, if you chose the 720p stream over here, you would set this to you would set it to 1280 by 720. So I'm going 1080p, so I'd choose 1920 times 1080. I think 480p is 852 by 480, and anything below that is really not worth streaming with. Okay, so Downscale Filter. What this basically does is it downscales things, right? So if you go for bilinear, it'll be really fast but blurry if scaling. What that means is, say your monitor is 1080p, and if you're streaming at 720p, then it's going to start blurring your stuff. So then you'd want to choose by cubic. So basically, if you're scaling, choose by cubic, and if you are not scaling, if you're streaming at the same resolution that your desktop is, then just go bilinear. And then FPS, you'd want to go down here, click common FPS values. So if you checked 1080p, then you would just go with 30 FPS, and if you checked 1080p 60 FPS, then you'd go with 60. Same thing with 720p 60 FPS and 720p. As you can see, it says you should set the FPS to 60 if you're doing 60 frames per second. Now, the FPS does take extra bit rate, so really, I mean, 720p 60 FPS, if you're doing gaming, then I highly recommend doing 60 FPS. But if you're not doing gaming, 60 FPS is kind of useless. So I'm going to be doing 60 FPS personally. If you want to go 30, if you don't want to take up performance, it's not required. 30 FPS still looks fine. You can definitely go down to 30 to knock some performance off your system. So I'm going to be going 60, and after you're done with that, hit apply. Alrighty, so the next thing you're going to want to do is go to the output tab. So I'm not going to be doing anything with the recording because I already have a tutorial for that. If you want to know how to just record videos locally with this program, then I have a tutorial for that. I will leave a link in the description to that video if you want to go watch that great tutorial as well. So, okay, for streaming, audio tracks, don't worry about those, just select one. Encoder, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, then choose NVENC. If you don't, then choose X264. So I always choose NVENC because it is the best. What it does is it uses your graphics card and your CPU at the same time, so that it increases performance. If you choose X264, it's only going to be using your processor for the rendering and encoding and stuff. So, long story short, you have an NVIDIA card, choose NVENC. and enforce streaming service encoder settings. I uncheck that. Okay, rescale output. So this is going to be what your stream is set to. So I'm just going to uncheck this. If you already set over here at the video the output scale resolution to 720p, whatever you're streaming that. Either way, I just have this unchecked. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. So the bitrate, that's going to be what you checked over here. So say you're streaming at 1080p, right? You would have to select a bitrate from anywhere from 3000 to 6000 kilobits per second. And if you're going 1080p 60 FPS, then you go anywhere from 4500 to 9000 kilobits per second. Same thing with 720 and 720p 60 FPS. Just work with whatever bitrate you want. So I'm going to go with 5000 bitrate because it's within this range. So let me go ahead and just, for the bitrate, I'm going to go ahead and input 5000. Just like that, simple. For the keyframe interval, you want to go 2 seconds. Preset default, profile main, level auto, use 2-pass encoding, yes. And CBR, uncheck, don't leave that checked. GPU, 0. 0 means automatic, so it'll automatically choose the best GPU you have, if you have a GPU, which is a graphics card. Go over to the audio tab, and for all these audios, select 192. Anything above that is really overkill. Anything below sounds like crap, so 192 is the best. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select 192 for all these, even if we're not gonna use all the audio tracks. So there we go. Hit apply. Go to audio. Now down here, for some reason, it says that the recommended advanced settings is 48 kilohertz, but I recommend 48. 44 doesn't sound as good as 48, so just check 48 in the audio tab. Channels, I'd go stereo, better quality. Desktop audio device, you just want to hit default. This is what the sound is going to be coming from your games and stuff. So I just choose default. It's going to automatically choose which audio device is your default on your computer. So just choose default, honestly. Desktop audio device 2, I disable that. Mic auxiliary audio device, that's going to be your mic. So I choose my Yeti for that because it's my best mic. And then you can add different mics if you want to, but I'm just going to go with one mic and then one sound capture. So you want to hit apply once you're done with that. And that's basically it for the settings here, guys. For color space, I go 601. Some of this is really personal preference, like the YUV color range and the color space are personal preference. The color format, I go with MV12, best quality right there. Video adapter, it doesn't let me choose it for some reason. It's probably because I have it on auto, but the renderer, go with Direct 3D 11, and don't mess with anything over here at all. You'll fuck up your stream. Hotkeys, you can choose hotkeys to record with. I don't really have any hotkeys because I don't need them. So yeah, whew, that was a lot to explain there. So now we're gonna actually go into the YouTube settings and start streaming. So you're gonna want to click the fourth link, which is a link to the live stream thing. So if you don't know how to get there, just go to your video manager and then go to live streaming and then go to events. So what we're gonna do is schedule an event. Click right there. And you name it whatever you want. I'm going to go to basic info and I'm going to set this to private because I don't want anybody to see this because it's a test. So I'm just going to name this one test, and you can set the time you want. I'll just go for 12 a.m. Yeah, that's fine. You can just type in there what you want, really. Go to custom, and then you can type a description. This is just an add-on, an extension I have for Chrome that automatically gives me video titles that are, you know, related to mine, so whatever. You can also go to the advanced settings. You can do whatever you want here, doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and create this event. Once you have everything you want, just go ahead and create the event. Whew, alrighty. Just gonna wait for this to create. It takes a few seconds. Alrighty, so if you've done it correctly, it should bring you to this page. You have info and settings, which is the page we were pretty much just at. And then you can go to ingestion settings. So we're gonna mess with the ingestion settings really quick. That's gonna be the first thing we do. So the main camera, you're gonna wanna select that, right? The thumbnail, you can choose whatever you want. I don't really have a set thumbnail for this. By default, it uses your banner, I'm pretty sure. So you're gonna wanna go with basic ingestion. And then when it says to select a bitrate, you wanna use the bitrate range that you use. So for example, I set my bitrate, as you can see in OBS, to 5,000. So I would go for 3,000 to 6,000 right here. And then if your stream is 60 frames per second, then you can enable that. If it's not 60 frames per second, then don't mess with it. But I'm going to enable it because I am streaming at 60 frames per second. For your encoder, you want to go to other encoders. And then this button right here is the same exact page that I was just at. It's this one right here. So I'm just going to exit that. It's like a duplicate. So, all right, the next thing you want to do is you want to go back into OBS for like the 5,000th time. Go to settings. Stream, and the stream type you want to go to custom streaming server. The reason we do that is because OBS is kind of weird and it doesn't really have the settings you need and able to stream on YouTube. You kind of need to like mess around with it in the custom streaming servers. So here we go. We got my settings here. So the stream name is going to be the stream key. So this is my stream key right here. This is what I'm going to use to stream with. So at URL, I just paste this here. And if you have, oh no, that does not go there. This goes in the stream key. So the stream name goes in the stream key right here. My bad, guys. So just delete that from the URL. So the URL is going to be your primary server URL. So just copy that and paste it into the URL slot. And then go to apply and then hit OK. Then you're done with that. So the next thing it's going to ask you to do is it's going to ask you to start your encoder. So you're just going to hit start streaming right here. Your encoder is OBS, that's what it's referring to. So I just started my stream. And then once you do that, it says to go to the live control room. So you just want to click on that highlighted text. And okay, obviously it says this event can't be featured because it's private, of course. So it should say your stream status is good. If it's not, then you did something wrong. Go check what you did wrong. Make sure your bitrate's all good. Make sure your settings are the same as mine. Make sure you've done everything right. And make sure you've listened to the video correctly because I have explained everything just perfectly, I assume. So what you're going to want to do next is hit preview. Okay, so yeah, this is just going to look at your settings and it's going to show you and basically find out if the settings are good enough, and it's basically just a YouTube testing your stream to see if it's good. So it's gonna do this, and just gonna wait a moment for that to finish. All right, so mine's successful, so I can actually start this stream, and then it'll start my stream. Once you start your stream, if I start this stream, I don't know if it'll actually start. Okay, so it started. So once it starts, you're actually in the live control room now, so you can go ahead and preview your stream right here, but it's actually not going to happen here because my stream is private. Okay, so here's my stream right here. This is what the public will see. You can actually open your live chat in a new window if you want to keep up with the chat, but what I usually do to keep up with the chat is I view on the watch page so that I can look at the chat and everything around there. So as you can see, one watching now, you can like it, so your stream should be live now. Everything should be good. So yeah, that is basically all you really need to know about streaming on this. So now I'm basically going to be showing you how to actually stream stuff. So I've showed you all these settings. Now you're like, well, how do I stream a game or my desktop? Now I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming on here since I'm done. And we can go ahead and minimize all that once you're done testing. Once everything works fine, you're good, man. You're good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to launch a game and we're going to try to play it. So I'm just going to open Steam really quick. Oh, of course Steam has to update at like the best moment ever when I'm making a video. That's freaking awesome. Let's just open that. So all right, so I should explain to you guys how this all works. So the scenes, this is just basically the main group of things, and then the sources are what you're actually going to be recording with. So if I add PUBG, that's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, that's a game, that's going to be a game here. And if I enable that, it's going to start recording PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And if I disable it, then it'll totally ignore Battlegrounds and it won't record it. So the mixer, these are your audios. So I usually put my desktop around 10 decibels because you don't want to have your desktop audio and your mic at the same like level because they won't be able to really hear you. So I just make my desktop sound lower than my mic sound because you know, you gotta let the people hear you. If you don't have a mic, you can just mute your mic over here, turn it all the way down, or you can just hit the mute button, whatever floats your boat. But I leave mine at -1.1 dB because it gets loud sometimes, not gonna lie. So Once you're done with that, I'm actually going to hit stop streaming because it's actually still streaming right now. So what's pretty cool is it tells you how much your CPU uses, and this right here is the duration of your stream or your recording. So, alrighty. The first thing you want to do once you start recording things is you want to launch a game that you want to record. So first, before we do the game stuff, I'm going to show you how to record your desktop. So what you want to do is you want to go to display capture. You can rename it to whatever you want. I'm just going to name it whatevs. I don't know. And then you hit OK. And then display, you can select whatever display you want. So if I select display 0, it's going to stream my display 0. And if I select display 1, it'll start streaming display 1. But yeah, that's how you record your desktop. So we're going to go ahead and delete this. The way you delete ones is right click and hit remove. So that's the monitor captures. And if you want to capture a specific window, you just hit window capture and then OK. This would be useful for other things, like if you want to capture anything else, really, anything else that's open. So I'd use this for like the League of Legends client. If you want to record like a web page game, like a Flash game, I'd use that. You can add images, browser sources. Browser sources are kind of like follower alerts, you know, stuff like that. Things like kind of widgets for your stream. If you want to know how to do follower alerts and add chat to the stream, feel free to watch my other tutorials. I have a lot more tutorials on OBS and things like that on my channel. So anyways, you can do audios if you just want to do audio. And then video capture device, that would be for like your webcam or something like that, something that captures video, webcam or an Elgato game capture. If you want to know how to add an Elgato to this, you can go check out my Elgato tutorial. I have one of those. And now what you've all been waiting for is game capture. So we're not going to add a game capture yet. We actually have to launch the game first. So let's say I want to record, what's a quick game that I can launch? We can record Counter-Strike. There we go. Haven't played this game in forever, even though I have 241 hours in it. By the way, if you want to add me on Steam, my name on Steam is Tropics, as you can see. It's the same, actually, it's a different profile picture, but you can add my Steam if you want. Totally cool with me. So I'm just gonna wait for this to open. Come on, Counter-Strike. Oh my god, thank god it didn't ear rape me, because the intro for Counter-Strike sometimes ear rapes you and it can get annoying, you know. Alrighty. So we got Counter-Strike open, so oh, okay. Apparently I left the game and I'm silver too. Okay. Thanks, game. Now everybody knows I'm a silver scrub. Anyways, so you would want to go back into OBS after you tab out. You want to leave the game running, and then you just hit the plus button, game capture. I'm going to name this CSGO. Like that. And you want to uncheck capture any full screen application. Go to window, go to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and then hit OK. And it should be recording CSGO now. So if I open CSGO and tab out, as you can see, it's there and it'll record. By the way, if your recording is kind of like that and it's like all uneven, the way you fix that is by actually clicking on the source and then dragging it. There we go. We're good. So now you know how to record games and everything and stream on YouTube, hopefully. That is literally all I can really show you guys right now without the video being too long, but there's so much more stuff out there as streaming. Feel free to watch my other videos if you want to. Got some great tutorials out there. If you need any extra help that I wasn't able to provide you in this video, go ahead and join my Discord server. Like I said, link in the description. Check out my Twitter, I don't know, my Twitch, whatever. Turn on notifications. I don't know. I don't really ask for much, but if you guys did find this video helpful, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't find it helpful, then leave a dislike, I guess. But the button is always there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.